This $49 Wi-Fi booster.
All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Monday, a manic Monday. It is now March. Oh, we got a little bit of feedback here. Got to work on this. There we go. It's March 8th. Hopefully everybody's having themselves a good, hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Hopefully he's ready to go here on a live Monday. And hey, you know what? Had a pretty good weekend. Took it easy. Did a bit of piano lessons and watched some college basketball. Some great college basketball. Some really good hockey games. Watched that NBA All-Star game last night. That was pretty good with the competition. Steph Curry nailing threes from all over the place. And wow, what a great weekend. So, how was your weekend? How are you guys doing today? And what I did here today, guys, and if you are new to the Raymond Report, welcome to the Raymond Report. Hopefully you guys can hear me out there in the Ramblers and Gamblers in that ATSstats.com. And let me go here and just take a bit of the, go to my tip sheet here. And I'm going to show you guys. So what I'm going to do now, every time we start the show, I'm going to run down what we're going to talk about today. You know, as you guys know, I coach football. And to me, preparation is everything, right? Preparation is not building your wings while being thrown off a cliff. Being prepared is like building a practice plan for your football practices, and the same thing for these shows. I always felt, you know what, you need to be better prepared for these shows. Have a game plan, right? And what I'm going to do here today, guys, we're going to talk about the fundamentals of handicapping. We're going to do a roll call. I think it's important that every time we do these show, do a bit of a roll call, see all the Ramblers and Gamblers, see how everybody had a nice weekend. I'm going to give a free horse racing pick to kick off the show every day. We're going to promote the game of the day. The game of the day today is going to be the Vegas Golden Knights and Minnesota Wild. We're going to break down that game. We're going to do the SBI, the Bears and Bulls reports. And guys, you can get this schedule each and every day. If you go to atsstats.com, go to Tools, go to Podcast Schedule, and on this page right here, and I'll put a link into the chat area so everybody's in the chat can see this, that this is what we're going to talk about this day. And every day will be different, right? I'm a type of guy, I love, I like this, I don't want everything to be the same all the time. The same, it would just get boring, and whatever's going on that day. And to me, in sports betting, we have a short attention span when it comes to gamblers, right? It's the old Janet Jackson song. What do you got? What have you done for me lately? And that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to talk about the games going on tonight. Now, we got a couple of college basketball games. We got some NHL games, and we're going to get to that in just a few seconds. All right, a little roll call here. Let's see who's in the house. We got Ricky Michael. How you doing, Ricky? That's somebody new, so welcome to the show. How you doing, Cheeks? Cheeks is in the house. Plays in Parlay. My gay Ron, what's up, buddy? How we doing today? Oh, things are great. My quick question, why is there no 80% club stats on the weekend? Oh, there should be. If you just send me an email, Ricky, I'll fix it up, but it should be there on the weekend. Should bet my NHL underdogs. Had a big weekend, +5. Hey, you know what? What a great weekend it was for the Streakers too, right? Eddie had a great run, and then Phillies 157, and now we got another streaker, Miguel. Miguel's on a nice little streak right now. Chad, there's Chad. How you doing, Chad? And who else is in the house here? We got Eddie Armstrong. Man, I miss you this weekend. We miss you too, Eddie. Hopefully you had a good weekend. And let me see here. G&G, hello, Ramblers and Gamblers. It was a good day Saturday, but yesterday I pushed, and I'm going to hit tonight. Nice. There's Sir Lancelot. Sir Lancelot is in the house. Who's betting MLB? I am, says Ricky Michael. You know what? The Major League Baseball, and I'm talking to the program. We're trying to get this new software out for the new site, and I can't wait to show you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to test it during the preseason baseball. I don't bet preseason baseball. That's when I do most of my homework. I like to see, who's starting, who's, Casey Janssen looks pretty good in his first couple hours that I've seen him with the Dodgers, and that's what I'm doing right now. When I'm watching Major League Baseball, I'm doing my homework, and the one thing I'm really surprised, like I look at Tampa Bay's lineup on the weekend, man, they're not putting any rookies in there. That's a full lineup they got going there in Tampa Bay. So some of these teams aren't messing around. They're putting everybody in, and so it's pretty cool. Congrats on your honor roll, eh? Honor roll. What are you talking about, the honor roll? Oh, you talking about hockeypicks.com? You definitely know your stuff. Nice. All right, guys. So, again, if you want to know what's going on with the show today, you can go to atsstats.com, go to tools, go to podcasts, and from there you can see the podcast schedule. And just scroll down here, and you can print it out if you want. And this is what we're going to be talking about here today. All right, if you are new to the Raymond Report, we have a free horse racing tip sheet that we give out here each and every day. You know what? I love horse racing during the summer. Now, once March Madness is done, now I spend a lot of my afternoons watching horse racing, betting the ponies, and hopefully with COVID over, we could start betting some of the ponies. Now, today's free tip sheet is Parks Racing in Philadelphia. And let's go to race number 11 today at Parks. I got a nice little tip here on this one, the tip sheet. Now, it's a $22,000 starter optional claiming race. It's a 5:20 post time. The distance is 1 mile 70s on the dirt. And we're going to go 6.52 in race number 11 today at Parks Racing. And we're going to take Southern Bridge with Pennington on the ride. Now, Pennington is 35% in the money in his last 100 races. 72 morning line on Southern Bridge. And then we're going to go with JJD. Rodriguez taking a ride here on the number 5 horse, JJD. And we're going to close that trifecta ticket with the 2 horse, Sam Bam. Silvera taking the ride. And my Joker's Wild, my long shot in race number 11 today at Parks Racing is Hold My Call. I was almost going to say Hold My Beer there, but it's Hold My Call. Gonzalez, 4-1 morning line on Hold My Call. And I guess he doesn't want nobody calling him when he's going to cash in that winning ticket today at Parks Racing in the 11th race. Again, if you're going to bet these horses, I recommend 6-5, 5-2, 2-4, exacta box. And if you're going to go on a trifecta run, go 6-5-2, 4-5-2, trifecta box. And normally what I do, the way I bet, is called double dutching in horse racing, is I like to take the Joker's Wild selection, depending on what the horse's odds are. If they're, depending on the, this is pretty good odds, 4-1. I'll bet, let me see here. I'll put maybe $10 to win, $10 to place on the number 4 horse, Hold My Call with Gonzalez. So this way he comes in second. You get some of that, the place money. But if he comes in first, then you get the place and the win money. So that's my free horse racing selection today, guys, at Parks Racing. Again, each and every day, we give out our premium tip sheets. In fact, if you go to Horses Premium Tip Sheet, we have every track that you can think about that you can shake a stick at. We talk about it. We got it on our premium tip sheet. And this is something I created last year along with our programmers, our horse racing tip sheet. Now, it's not the daily racing form. I'll just say that right off the bat. And again, I'm a type of sports handicapper when it comes to horse racing. My angle is jockeys. And what I've done is I track all the jockeys' races in their last 100 races. And then I go with the hot hand with the jockeys, right? So that's my angle betting the horses. All right, today we talk about horses. Now let's go to the, we're going to talk about the game of the day between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Minnesota Wild. That'll be breaking down that game later on. But the next segment here, we're going to talk about the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. And what we do here in the Sports Betting Index is we keep an eye out on, what's going on in the market. Like my good friend Ross Benjamin says, think like a bookmaker. And we always think like a bookmaker here. We want to see what's going on. And I really got some great stats for you guys that I'm going to share with you, betting the percentage play. I always talk about value, percentage play, and the cycles, right? Performance cycles. I got a good little research here that I did this morning on NBA, NHL performance cycles, and I'm going to share with you that in a second. All right, let's take a look at the Ramblers and Gamblers and see what everybody's talking about right now. And we see anybody new coming in. Jared Bush, hey, when you getting those NCAA guests? Yeah, you know what? That's good. I'm going to talk to Ross. Maybe Ross will come on next week for the, or maybe this week for the conference championships. But I'll try to get somebody on for sure. Sir Lancelot, Blue Jays are going to be a good team to bet over against. You know what? As long as they got a lot of infielders now, right? With Springer there. And I think they're heavy in the outfield, but we'll see what's going to do that. Congratulations, Eddie. Eddie had a great run. Eddie's a Montreal guy. I talked with Eddie this weekend, and Eddie sent me a beautiful email. We made him like and this is the intention, right? If you go on a good run like Eddie did, we're gonna make you a hero here on the Raymond Report. We're gonna pump your tires each and every day. And then once you lose, that's it. You're out of here. No, just kidding. But Eddie had a great run. And he sent me a beautiful email. His wife was all into it too, and he goes, he watches the show, and he says he really. When he did his picks, he said he looked for the value and what he learned here on the Rain Report. And that really, made me feel good, meaning that, not only you guys watching the show just for the picks, but you're also buying into my philosophy of value, percentage play, and performance cycles. So I want to thank Eddie for that. And Phillies 157, almost like, Eddie was the bride and Phillies 157 was the bridesmaid, right? He had a good run going too. But Phillies 157 went on a 9-game win streak, so I tip off my hat to Phillies 157. He's been with us a long time, so he's one of the top 10 streakers at Streakcatcher. So good job on that, Phillies 157. And Miguel 1050 now is the new man of the hour at Streakcatcher.com, and we'll talk about that in just a few seconds. All right, let me see what we got going here. Competitive games. I'm on a great run with Major League Baseball. Good job, Ricky Michael. He got the Cubs today. How do I participate? Streakcatcher's free. You just go to Streakcatcher and you play. It's free. All right, let's go to the SBI and think like a bookmaker. I should take off my capper's hat, put on my bookmaker's hat, and see what has come in. Oh, yeah. I did a research this morning. Man, the favorites are absolutely killing it right now. The favorites in the NHL, 65% the last 7 days. Look at that. 65.4% the favorites are winning the last 7 days. The over-unders now, remember I kept saying, you guys, a lot of unders were coming in, but all of a sudden, look what's come over, right? But you're seeing a lot of 5.5. So the one thing I noticed with the bookmakers total of late, you're seeing a lot of 5.5. They want some of the, they want people to stop betting the under, and now you're starting to see the over come in. 5-3, 8-4, 4-2. Now the over. And we'll keep an eye out on that. But on the season, they're right there at 500, 49-50. But on the 7-day average, it was getting out of hand there in the 3-day average, 65.7% of the overs. Now we'll see if things are going to start playing out to the under, right? But a lot of favorites coming in the NHL this weekend. Favorites, look at that. 5-3 on Sunday, 7-5 on Saturday, 5-1 Friday night. Favorites betting NHL hockey. All right, that's the SBI. This is the Sports Betting Index, and what we do in this segment is we always look on what's going on, and then once baseball comes, we'll throw baseball, and then basketball will be back this week, and we'll get right back on the horse in basketball. All right, so the next segment here, guys, is we're going to talk about the Bears and the Bulls, and while I'm loading up this the Bears and the Bulls report, let's talk. Let's see what's going on. How did everybody have a good weekend? Everybody make some money. I made a lot of money betting Eddie's picks his last 3 selections, so I was kind of happy with that. And let's go to the NHL. And we're going to take a look at the Bulls and the Bears in the NHL. Now, we've got 6 teams in the NHL that are on a bull run. The only team that I find that could be interesting is the Washington Capitals. Washington finally playing some really good hockey. We have 17 teams that are neutral for 54% of the NHL. And let me just go to the confidence level right here. And I'm going to show you guys something. I'm just going to bring up the Bears and the Bulls and the neutrals, Now, you can see right here, these are the top teams. Now, A, B, and C is how I grade my teams. A teams are teams above 60%. B teams are teams that are 50 to 59.9, your average Joes, right? They're jockeying to make the playoffs. And then your C teams, those are your bottom dwellers. These guys are they're not having a good year right now. These are the C-type teams that are bearish. They're either 0-7, 1-6, or 2-5 in their last 7 games. And there's not a team in here that doesn't deserve to be there. There's not like a B or A-type team. But if you look at the neutrals here, now this is what I found interesting. We have 6 NHL teams right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are bullish. So these teams are either 6-1 or 5-2 in their last 7 games. So when it comes to the market confidence level of these teams, the market confidence is pretty high, but the value is not a lot of value there, right? And Washington, to me, is probably the only value that I see right here. Is probably the only value that I see is Washington, and we'll see. They're not playing tonight. And then when you look at the neutrals, now there's 2 teams in the neutrals. There's 17 teams right now that are either 4-3, 3-4. And when you think from a market psychology point of view, you and the bookmaker, I always talk about that uncomfortable pick or that, the overvalued pick. Well, these are teams right now that you and the bookmaker, from a mindset point of view, it's pretty balanced in the market. But there's two teams that I think that could have value: Florida, an A-type team, and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, the Leafs lost 2 this weekend to Vancouver, and now I think they're going back home. But Toronto and Florida are teams you want to watch. They're in the neutral. I don't expect these guys to be bearish, as they're really good hockey teams, but we'll see, right? So let's take a look at the standings up in here. The Ramblers and Gamblers, see what we got going here. Competitive game, says Isaiah. I'm on a great run. So drinking and closing your eyes and picking the winners. Yeah, that's not a good way to go through life, Chad. Hey, Chad, it reminds me of a movie. Son, that's not a good way to go through life. So drinking and closing your eyes and picking winners. And throwing darts. Don't forget throwing darts. You got to throw darts, the sharp ones, right? Dogs over the weekend. Jared Bush, lots of road favorites. How about Curry? Yeah, Steph Curry was just lights out. Larry Lyman, thank you for all you do here. Well, you're welcome, Larry. Thank you for posting. Appreciate it. Always appreciate some love when guys are showing a bit of love. I appreciate that. And Lonnie Smith's in the house. How you doing, Lonnie? And only NCAA bet today I have is Cleveland -3.5, says Isaiah. So Cheeks is on Cleveland State. Very public bet today. Ron, question on the market conditions. Yep, fire away. What do you got, Parlays? You have a question? Go ahead. But I'm comfortable with it. Islanders are fierce. Islanders, you know what, Jared? The Islanders are really good at home, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second, their home record. It's one of the best teams at home. Am I reading right that the home underdogs are hitting more frequently over the last 30 days? That could be. It could be. We'll check out the report, but that could be something. And he's talking about, so when you go to the rain report, actually, let me, okay, so what you're talking about here is, let's go to the NHL, and on the premiums, you're going to notice on any of the games right here that at the top of the charts here, we got the last 30 days. So in the last 30 days, let's go to NHL, and at the top right here, so home underdogs, the last 30 days winning 43.2%. Home underdogs, road underdogs, 50%. So no, not, so the underdogs in the last couple of days, like home underdogs, 43.2%, and road underdogs, 50%. So road underdogs have done well the last 30 days with that angle plays and parlays. All right, I'm a diehard Islander fan, Ronnie, so I'm all over feeling every good about my team. Yeah, you should feel good. I had the Islanders. You can ask Ross. Me and Ross Benjamin did the show last year, and the Islanders were one of my long shots. Man, if New York would have went to, I had them right to the Stanley Cup. I did hedge them, so I did make a little bit of money, but it was good. Got my rink rat average, and I found I'm doing really good with my hockey picks. Awesome. That's awesome. I love Bills. I love Billy Smith. Yeah, Billy Smith. Hey, Billy Smith in the 80s, you never went in his crease. Him and Ron Hextall. Those are two guys you'd never go in their crease because they pull a handsome brother on you, right? Let them know you're there. Let them know you're there. All right, let's take a look at the standings, and you know what? Let's go to that standings and talk about the New York Islanders. Now, we got some Islander fans in here. If you're a New York Islander fan, you got to be happy. Your team's playing well, and the New York Rangers, well, they're not doing so well, but it's always a great rivalry between the Islanders and the New York Rangers. Now, let's take a look. I've got to read, of course, 215. Got to reset the stats right here. Nothing, death, taxes, and redoing the stats here. That's the three main things in life at the Rain Report. Let me do a real quick run the crons here. Man, I thought we fixed this problem. Oh, here we go. Let's go to NHL premium picks. And let me see here. Set NHL. Just bear with me a second, guys. I think we'll be okay in just a few seconds. And let me see here. Yep, there we go. We're back to normal. All right, so let me go to the NHL. Hopefully this is working. There we go. Perfect. All right, so let's take a look at this. Yes, the hackers. Yeah. No, actually, I think we were fine. We just had some issues last week with the server. But yeah, look at the top teams right now in the NHL, the top 5 teams. Look at the Islanders, 15-10 overall, along with the Oilers and Winnipeg and Florida with 15 wins. Then you got the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas is hot, and we're going to break down that game in just a few minutes. They're 16-5. Marc-Andre Fleury, how's he doing? Hey, Peter DeBoer goes in there last year, puts in Robin Leonard, and then Flower goes, yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you once I get back in shape here. And sure enough, Flowers, you know what? He could be a Vezina Trophy winner this year. Tampa Bay 17-6 on the season. Carolina 17-7. I had Carolina as one of my long shots to win the Stanley Cup. And the Maple Leafs, the Toronto Maple Leafs, 18-8, going through a bit of a little bit of a hiccup. They lost 2 to the Vancouver Canucks. Looking at the top home teams this year, Vegas. Look at those Islanders, 10-2, and the Pittsburgh Penguins also 10-2 with the Tampa Bay Lightning, Winnipeg, and the Leafs at 9 wins at home this year. And the road teams, St. Louis Blues 10-3 on the road, 9-4 for the Leafs. Carolina 9-5, rounding off the top teams on the road this year. All right, let's go back to the next thing in our segment here. We're going to talk about the 80% Club. So one of our members was saying the 80% Club wasn't working this weekend. If that ever happens again, just send me an email on the or just go to contact us on our website, and I will fix this. Now, I got some great stats here for you guys today in the NHL with the 80% Club. And before I get to that, let me see some of the news and notes here in the Ramblers and Gamblers den, right? We'll call it the bullpen. I was thinking of a name to call the chat area. I think I'll call it the bullpen. What do you think of that, Gene G? Since you're the creator of the Ramblers and Gamblers, I think the chat, we're gonna call it the bullpen. See what's going on in the bullpen. I love Billy Smith, says Chad. Keep fading the Sabres. Yeah, poor Buffalo. Yeah, poor my ticket of the Jack Eichel winning the Maurice Richard Trophy. Guy scores 36 goals last year, and you know he can't. Man, he's struggling. Yeah, I'm not gonna kick him when they're down, but yeah, those poor Buffalo Sabres. I wasn't gonna say Bills because the Bills are fine. So ride the Vegas train. Nice call, Chiefs fading the Sabres. Mark wants the cup. Mark wants the cup. Mark who? Fade T-Wolves. The pen. The pen. Yeah, I like the pen. Hey, the pen's good. Hey, what do you think of the pen, right? Let's go check out what's going on in the pen here. The Bramble Bush, Lions Den. Lonnie likes the Lions Den. So, hey, you know what? I love the interaction. I love the feedback. Now, let's take a look at some of the 80% Club stats we got going tonight in the NHL. And once the NBA gets going, we will bring some of those stats as well. Now, Colorado taking on the Arizona Coyotes tonight. Now, Kemper's in nets. It looks like Kemper's going to be in nets for Arizona, and Grubauer for Colorado. No McKinnon tonight, so you're taking a big piece out of the of your arsenal right there with McKinnon out. And Grubauer 3-1 against the Arizona Cardinals, and Kemper, he's 4-1-2 against the Avs. So Kemper's got a good record against the Colorado Avalanche, but the Avalanche are 9-1 straight up as a home team when they're coming off an over game the last 2 years. 90% angle right there. Minnesota Wild, I got a puck line angle tonight on the Wild. Now, Minnesota is playing the Vegas Golden Knights. So if you're thinking about playing Minnesota at home on the puck line, check this out. When Minnesota's at home as an underdog, they're playing 3 games in 4 nights. They are 13-1-1 against the point spread for 86%. So solid stat there on the Minnesota Wild on the puck line. Montreal Canadiens 17-3. 7-3 as an away favorite, coming off 2 non-conference games since 1996. Now, obviously with a COVID situation, they're coming off. Who are they coming off? Winnipeg? Is it Winnipeg they played? So yeah, so that would be a non-conference game. Western team with the Winnipeg Jets. And then you got the under in the Kings game when the Kings are an away team coming off a home win as an underdog the last 7 years. So when the LA Kings are an away team coming off a home win as an underdog the last 7 years, look at the under. 11-2 for 84%. And check this out. I got some stats for you guys on that game. LA Kings. If John Gibson is in nets tonight for the Anaheim Ducks, Gibby is his goals against average against the Los Angeles King lifetime 1.84, and he's 11-5 against the Kings. So I think that could be a great angle to the under here tonight between the Kings and the Anaheim Ducks. So a little sports betting tidbit here today on the Raymond Report, giving you guys the Ramblers and Gamblers there in the bullpen, so some love with some stats. And that's what we do here at the Raymond Report. We ATSstats.com. We got more stats you can shake a stick at, but that's what we do here. All right, let's take a look at some of these scoring angles tonight. And again, if you are new to the Raymond Report, my name is Ron Raymond. I'm a sports handicapper since 1996. 2009, I wrote the book, Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, and I'm the founder of the World Series of Handicapping, going into season number 10 of the World Series of Handicapping. One day I'll tell you a good story what happened with the World Series of Handicapping. That I trademarked that URL back in the late 2000 and was it 2005? And then the Major League Baseball tried to come after me because I had the World Series in the sports of handicapping. So we worked out a deal where I can keep the name World Series of Handicapping as long as I don't sell any merchandise that has to do with baseball hats, baseball things, or anything baseball related. And as what was that guy from Chicago used to say? And now you know the rest of the story. Paul something. Remember that guy in Chicago? And now you know the rest of the story. Yeah, Paul something. I can't remember his name. Chicago. I'm sure somebody out there will bring it up in the bullpen. But yeah, that's the story of the World Series of Handicapping. A little bit of a tidbit right there. I like to throw in some of these stories once in a while. I know Bo Dunn likes these stories once in a while. Where's my guy Bo? Bo's normally on the in the crowd here. All right, let's take a look at the scoring stats for tonight, the scoring matchups, and what we're going to do here. And if you want to keep on track today on what we're doing on the podcast, anytime now, what I'm going to do is I'm doing my research the night before. I'm doing the schedule of the show. So you go to Tools, go to Podcast Show Schedule, and he was on 60 Minutes. Yeah, he was on 60 Minutes. Yeah, I know you're not talking about Bo, though, right? Paul Harvey. That's it, Paul Harvey. And now you know the rest of the story. Yeah, Paul Harvey. Yeah, it's always, hey, even in Canada, we have a radio station up here called CFRA, and they at noon, they used to have this little segment with a Paul Harvey story. It was really cool. And, hey, I'm 52 and I still remember that, right? So, pretty cool. All right, but here's the show schedule today, guys. You go to atsstats.com, go to Tools, go to Podcast Show Schedule, and I have everything that we're going to cover here today. And I think this is going to be a much better format, knowing you can come in and say, okay, what's Ron talking about today? Oh, you know what? I can't wait till he talks about that angle. And I'm going to switch it up on you guys. I'm going to DH it here. We're going to go National League, American League some days. And I'm going to throw you guys some curveballs since baseball spring training is coming around. And I'll always keep you guys on at the edge of your seat, right? Hey, you'll buy what's that? One of those sayings? You'll buy the seat, but you only use the edges, right? All right. Paul Harvey, Mark's Nation. How you doing, Mark? Mark Nation, the good member here of ATS. Nenox Watson. How you doing, Nenox? We haven't seen you in a while. Went 6 out of 7 yesterday. Only missed the Bruins. Nice. Yeah, that was a tough game, right? New Jersey's got their number this year. New Jersey's got Boston's number. Didn't he make chocolate bars? No idea. Chad, why do you like the Sharks tonight? Unfortunately, they don't play that anymore in Canada. No, they don't, eh? Nope, they don't. All right, so again, if you want to see the show schedule, go to ATS Stats, go to Tools, Podcast Schedule, and I'll put up the daily schedule of the podcast each and every day. So this way, you guys know what we're going to ramble and gamble and talk about here in the bullpen at the Raymond Report. All right, let's take a look at the matchups tonight in the NHL. And let's see what we got going. So if you ever want to see the top scorers of the leagues, you just go here. But let's go to the matchups. Now, Vegas taking on Minnesota. Vegas, the 5th-ranked offense. Now, when you look at this game here tonight between Vegas and Minnesota, a couple of things came to mind. Vegas, number 5th-ranked offense, number 2-ranked defense. That's because you got the hottest goaltender in the league playing well. But it's going to be a tough task tonight in Minnesota. Minnesota is always a tough out. But Minnesota only ranked 14th on offense, 9th on defense. St. Louis, San Jose. San Jose, you know, it's really hard to figure these guys out. 31st ranked defense, 21st offense. St. Louis, not playing some good defense, ranked 23rd on defense, allowing 3.16 goals against. Arizona, Colorado, now no McKinnon tonight, so you're taking a big offensive power out of here. Maybe the under is where you want to go in that game. If 25th ranked offense in Arizona, 16th ranked defense with 3.04. But Colorado, Grubauer and Minska, I think it's the backup, the other goalie, Minska, 2.5 goals against. Ottawa got a nice win last night. These Senators, hey, I always remember that guy saying I look disgusted when I talk about the Ottawa Senators, right? But they're playing all right now. They're playing, you know, the Smith's got them playing some good hockey right now, and they just got to get more consistent on on the back end of keeping the puck out of the net. Still allowing way too many goals against. 3.89, ranked 30th. Only San Jose is worse than Ottawa on the goals against. Montreal ranked 4th on offense, 12 against. Carey Price started the year very good, but the price was not right a couple of weeks ago. Carey was struggling a bit, but Vancouver 28th on offense, and Vancouver on offense 19th ranked, averaging 2.89 goals against. I think I might like the over in that game here tonight between the Habs and the Canucks. And rounding off tonight, I talked about the starting goalies for LA and Anaheim. Looks like Jonathan Quick might get the nod between the pipes for the Kings. He's 22, 13, and 8 lifetime against Anaheim. But John Gibson is 11 and 5 lifetime versus LA and a 1.84 goals against. So might be an underplay here tonight between Anaheim and the LA Kings. All right, let's take a look at the Ramblers and the bullpen and see what's going on here. Bruins owe me. Yeah, they owe. That's a good one. The Bruins owe Lonnie Smith. Right was such a good spot for them. Are you probably in San Jose with the Ducks under? I don't know. I might probably in San Jose unless you're asking somebody else. I don't know yet. Want to stay away from that. Bruins are banged up right now. Yeah, and you know what? Plays in parlay, and he's from Boston, so he knows. He must pick up something right there. And that's the thing, right? This is a grind. And you know what? Of all the games, so what? 6 games tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, 4 games tonight. There's 2 teams that are playing 3 games in 4 nights, and I'll talk about the day's rest in just a few seconds. So a lot of teams playing 3 games in 4 nights, and Ottawa's on a back-to-back game situation. And let's go to the computer picks to see what the computer likes tonight in the NHL, and then we'll talk about the percentage play and the value play. Eddie made me a good, he said, he talked about value, and I said, you know what? Maybe it's time to bring up the value play of the day and the top percentage play of the day. And when I get to the percentage play, I got some great stats I'm going to show you guys. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights taking on Minnesota. The Knights, a 116 favorite. The over-under at 5.5. Now, this here is the computer pick. These are not my selections. These here are the computer-based predictions, and we'll talk about that. 3.26 for Vegas. 2.63 for the Minnesota Golden Wild, Minnesota Wild. St. Louis taking on the San Jose Sharks, and the bookmakers got the Blues a 161 favorite, over under at 5.5. I got the Blues winning this one, 3.63, 2.87, over under at 6.5. Not me, but the computer. Arizona taking on Colorado, so 2.94, 2.72 for the computer, liking the Avalanche, the over under at 5.66. So look at this, a 5.5. So a lot of games are going over, so keep an eye on the overs total for the NHL. Ottawa taking on Edmonton. Now, Ottawa coming off. Can they take 2 in Alberta in a back-to-back game situation? I think this is a really tough spot for Ottawa. I think Ottawa's going to get the boots taken to them. They're going to go to the back of the woodshed tonight, and I think Ottawa's it's going to be a tough one for the Sens here tonight and back-to-back. And you're playing against an Edmonton team coming off a nice win over Calgary, minus 400. There's no way. If anybody is laying 400, I'm going to kick you out of the bullpen. Anybody who lays $400 on a hockey game, I'm kicking you out of the bullpen. You don't deserve to be in here. You're not one of us if you're laying $400 on the Edmonton Oilers, right? Just kidding, obviously. But 6.5 is the total. Ottawa could be tired, says Print Basket. Absolutely, they're going to be tired. Would take plus 130. What's up, Bo? Oh, Bo, did I miss Bo? There he is. What's up, everyone? There's Bo Knows. Bo Dunn is in the house. All right, Montreal taking on the Vancouver Canucks. Now, Montreal, a 152 favorite. The over-under at 6.5. ATS forecast leaning with the Habs here. 3.82, 2.28. Over-under at 6.1. Now, if Carey Price is between the pipes tonight, he's 15-2-4 against the Canucks. But you know what? Braden Holtby, if he goes tonight for Vancouver, he's 15-4-3. But that was with Washington, right? So I kind of like the price is right. If Carey's in nets tonight, I probably lean with the Habs. And then the LA Kings taking on Anaheim. We got a minus 132 is the line on the Kings. The over-under at 5.5. I love the under in this game here tonight, guys. I do like the under. Again, Gibby 184 goals against average against the Kings, and we got the Kings winning here 2.98, 2.84. The over/under set at 5.82. Now I'm going to take a look here, guys, at the percentage play, and the percentage play here. Some of the top teams. So what I'm going to do each and every day is, when I was giving out the rain report, I always talk about the percentage play, 50 chances of winning. against the chances, like 54% chance of winning, 12% chance. Now, the thing that I really want to, and if you're new to the Raymond Report, the betting system, the Raymond Report sports betting system is based on 3 fundamentals of handicapping. Number 1, there has to be value. There has to be value in what you're betting. Number 2, the percentage play. And I'm going to talk about the winning streaks. I did a little bit of research. I'm going to show you guys this. And I think it's going to change your mindset on how you might approach betting the percentages. And number 3, cycles. Every team during a season goes through a good and long cycle, a short cycle and a long cycle, a winning cycle, a losing cycle. And how do you identify those cycles when you're breaking down that team and where they are in the season? And that's why I label my teams A, B, and C. And tonight on the percentage play, the top 3 percentage play that I have here tonight, guys. Now, where was it again here? I got the percentage play. Minnesota. I think Minnesota's a nice percentage play. They're at 54%. They're a B neutral type team, so they're in a good cycle, and they're up against an A bullish team. Now, Vegas is on a hot streak. If Vegas wasn't bullish, if this was neutral, this would be a strong play from the percentage play from Minnesota. But I'm just saying that there is value on Minnesota. The other 2 teams that I think that have value tonight, and again, going back to Eddie's comment, he says when he was on his winning streak, he looked for value, and that's what you should do. You got to look for value. Don't overpay for something, right? You're not going to pay $60 for a pizza when it's it's on sale for like you buy 2 get 1 free for $10, right? You don't want to overpay for something. And the same thing with sports betting. Now, looking at the Vancouver Canucks, there is value. Now, my line is 166, and you're getting about 140 tonight. So, no, it's not a lot of value, but you're getting a C neutral team against a C bearish team. Now, these are 2 bottom teams, and, the only thing you got to watch out for is Vancouver's coming off a letdown game, and then there's value here on Anaheim. I think there's a lot of value here on the Anaheim Ducks. You got a team that's coming off a 5-4 win over Colorado, and LA team's a 4-3 win over the Blues. Now, the value index, I had plus 210 for the Ducks, and you're getting about, what, plus 110? So, not, it's pretty good value, and I think for the LA Kings, they're overvalued. I think LA's overvalued 138, and they're asking 132. So, it's almost like a go-against value play against the LA Kings, and the same thing with the Habs. The Habs, I had a minus 116. They're overvalued at 152. So, if you're looking for value tonight, I think Anaheim, Vancouver, and Minnesota are just value. Now, these are not my selections. I'm just telling you what the value is, right? And when I'm looking at the numbers, where are the teams that have value? Now, the percentage play, let's take a look at the percentage play. Let me see here. Maybe that was the percentage play I was talking about here. Hang on. Okay, the percentage play, yeah, Minnesota, Vancouver, and Anaheim. Now, I'm going to show you these stats, what I did here. We'll do NHL first. What I did is I went and looked at NHL teams that are favorites coming off a 2-game, 3-game, 4-game, and 5 or more game winning streak. Now, the thing that I found really interesting is favorites that are coming off a 2-game win streak, they're 25-17, 58.1% in their next game. So think about that. When you're betting into streaks, right? A favorite coming off a 2-game win streak normally win 58.1% of their games. Favorites in the NHL coming off a 3-game win streak, 16-8 for 66.6%. So NHL favorites coming off a 3-game win streak are winning at 66.6%. But then here comes a bit of a dip, right? A 4-game win streak, now not a lot of volume, only 7 games, 57.1%. So I think, and a 5-game win streak, low volume, only 2 games, 1-1. Favorites that are on a 5 or more game win streak, 50%, but low volume. So let's take this out here and let's concentrate on the 2-game win streak and the 3-game win streak. You got a team here on a 58.1% and a 66.6% win streak for a favorite after a 2-game and 3-game win streak. Now, let's take a look at underdogs. Underdogs that are on a 2-game losing streak, they have a 36.7% win percentage in the next one, 6-7 on a 3-game losing streak, 1-6 on a 4-game losing streak. But look at this, 2-8 on a 5 or more game win streak. So keep betting against losers, right? Don't expect losing teams to do good things for you. The only thing that I find that you got to be careful reading these stats is NHL underdogs coming off a 3-game losing streak. They have a higher percentage chance of getting closer to 50% than a team that's losing 2 or 4 or 5. Does that make any sense to you guys? It's the percentage play, right? I'm always talking about the percentage play, and I thought these numbers were pretty fascinating. And the best thing to do if you're going to bet favorites, it seems like the 3-game winning streak is where you want to keep betting on those teams, right? Think of it. If a team's on an NHL favorites on a 3-game win streak, they're on a good roll, they're in a good cycle. The odds of them continue to win have been pretty good this year on a 66.6%. And the one thing that I've noticed with the totals, the over, look at the over, 23-19 for teams on a 2-game win streak, teams on a 3-game win streak, 14-10, and then losing teams more towards the under, 23-26, 5-9 to the under, and teams that are on a 5 or more game losing streak and are underdogs, 70% to the under. So pretty good information right there, guys, with the winning streaks, right? So pretty good winning streak. Now let's take a look at NBA. Let's take a look at the NBA winning streak. Now this is only straight up. I didn't do against the point spread. Now I think the NBA underdogs, there's more value on the losing streaks, betting totals, and I'll get to that in just a second. NBA favorites on a 2-game win streak, they are 32-24 for 57%. On a 3-game win streak, they are 17-12 for 58% this season. And a 4-game win streak, 13-6 straight up and 68%. And then teams on a 5 or more game win streak in the NBA, 16-6 for 72%. Now, take a look what's interesting in this research. NBA teams that are favorites on a 2 or 3-game winning streak, they're not winning against the spread. 25-31 on a 2-game win streak, 12-16-1 on a 3-game win streak. And then once they get to the 4-game win streak, 10-9, and then a 5 or more game win streak, 14-8. So that's pretty interesting right there. Teams that are on a 2 and 3-game win streak have a high percentage of winning their next game. Like, look at the escalation of the winning streak just on the straight up angle. 57, 58, 68, 72, right? It's like the momentum. Remember when Sacramento, it was the opposite of Sacramento. They went on that win streak. They just kept winning. But when they lose the same way. And now let's take a look at the NBA underdogs. NBA underdogs on a 2-game losing streak only win 38.2% of their games in the next game. So on the 3rd game, they're 26-42. If they're on a 3-game losing streak, they're 11-25 for 42.3%. A 4-game losing streak, 9-7. So this is the only time that they tend to turn it around. And that, to me, from a sports psychology point of view, think about this. If you're an NBA underdog and you're on a 3-game losing streak, you're saying to yourself, you're a coach or a player, if we lose 4 in a row, we're going in the tank. We're going in the tank, and the emphasis is like it just gets greater to win the next game when you lose, right? And sure enough, 56% of the games they win when they're on a 4-game losing streak. So they don't want to get to 5 games, right? So that I found that to be a little bit interesting. And a 2-game losing streak, they've only covered 36-32, 15-20-1 against a 3-game losing streak. But then once they get on a 4-game losing streak, 9-6-1. So you can see there's one angle on each of these features that you want to bet against, right? These aspects. But the thing is, look at the over-unders on NBA underdogs on a losing streak. NBA underdogs on a losing streak, 40-27-1 to the over. Think about that. NBA underdogs on a 2-game losing streak, 40-27-1. What does that tell me? Okay, they're an underdog, so right there we know they're not in a good role. 2, they're on a 2-game losing streak, so what's going on? Who's missing? And number 3, why is the over coming in on underdogs on a 2-game losing streak? So, I always say, if you want to get to the root of a problem, ask the 5 whys. Always ask why this, why that, and continue till you get to the root. But it just blows my mind on NBA underdogs, 2-game, 3-game losing streak. Look at the 3-game losing streak, 22-14-0 to the over, and a 4-game losing streak, NBA underdogs, 11-5-0 to the over. So, it makes me, and then look at this, NBA underdogs on 5 or more game losing streak, 3 and 10 to the under. It goes the opposite way. It just flips right there after a 4-game losing streak. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share with you guys that today. What do you think? What's your comments? What's the bullpen? And love to get your comments. And this is why, guys, when I do these shows, I always like to bring something to the party, right? You always, when you have these potlucks, it's too easy to bring the bag of nachos or the pizzas. I want to bring specials to this party, right? So I'm bringing something good here. I'm bringing the, I don't know what I'm bringing, but I'm bringing the goods here today. All right. Any comments about this here, guys? Any comments today on those stats that I just showed you? Pretty good stats. You know what? NHL wise, the favorites. Keep betting the favorites, especially when they're winning 65%. And look for NBA underdogs and losing streak. Keep an eye on the over because I think we might be on to something today. All right. Speaking of value, let's go look at the value here on the law of average value. And what we do here in this segment here, guys, this is this is a great angle that my buddy Ross Benjamin showed me. And I got to get Ross on here one day. Ross is a solid handicapper. And he taught me this. You want to bet on a team that lost. Well, the way Ross does it, say for NBA, you want to bet on a team that lost straight up and against the spread versus a team that won straight up and against the spread. Think of the law of average, right? And it works out pretty well. Now, NHL tonight, if we use the same concept, today in the law of average, so what I have here is a feature at the website, and you're going to see some aesthetics. How do you say aesthetics? There's the French in me, aesthetics, right? Aesthetics. And so what you want to do, Vegas is coming off a win. Minnesota's coming off a loss. So Minnesota has the law of average angle here tonight. So that's a value play with the law of average theory. Now, St. Louis, San Jose, both these teams coming off a loss, and St. Louis is coming off a 3-game losing streak, so there's no law of average value here tonight. Arizona, Colorado, Colorado's coming off a loss, and Arizona's coming off a win, so there's value on Colorado, and all these other teams are coming off a win, so there's no law of average. So keep an eye out. Let's keep an eye out on that tonight. I'm going to write this down. Minnesota and Colorado. Let's check out tomorrow, and we'll recap to see how they did there tonight. All right, let me take a look at the bullpen here and see if we got any feedback. Still don't know if the flower's starting. Anyone? Yes, I'll check the stats in regards to certain streaks. Anyone playing tonight? 3-game win streak. Can't wait for me too. I can't wait for Major League Baseball. I really can't wait. I'm watching a lot of games right now though. Vegas strength of schedule has been kind of weak, to be honest. Yeah. Plays and parlays, cheeks. The more specific data you can pattern, the better. Gotta dig deeper than and that's the thing. Whenever I get into these stats, I feel like I lose half the crowd. People don't care. Sometimes people don't care, but then you get people who really, they love this stuff, right? Some people it's like the drive-through, just get the food and go. No one wants to sit at the restaurant and enjoy the meal, right? And have a good conversation. But hey, that's different stroke, different folks. That's all good. But that's what we do with the Raymond Report, right? We bring you just the facts, man. Hey, what's that movie? Just the Facts? Wasn't that Leslie Nielsen? Just the Facts? Good question, Tyson. Well, Tyson had a question. Did I miss it? Chad, question I'm from the USA. Why do you call the Montreal? Oh, the Habitant. So in French, they call the population like the habitants. In French, we call it habitant. I'll have to do a thing in a Google Translate. But if you go to Google Translate, and let me do it right here. Translate habitant. I think it's population or like, let me see, inhabitants. It says inhabitants. But yeah, it's the population. That's it. It's just the people of Montreal, right? So it's just like the locals, right? So the Habs. They just call them the Habs. So now you know the rest of the story. Hey, Paul Harvey. I need a Paul Harvey little soundbite right there. Now you know the rest of the story. All right. Thanks to Ron. Hi, Rusty. Yeah, Rusty's at the door. He doesn't leave he's on guard right now. Instead of putting on air schedule, I just put Rusty at the door. People know we're on air. I have to have Ron's stats when handicapping. How does the goalie feel after being pulled? Yeah, you know what? That was a mercy pull. You have to pull him. Those are stats of habitats. It's people. Yep, exactly. It's a French thing. Mais certain, c'est un affaire français. The secrets are in the details. Little fragment back of the picture is that a greater the sum of its parts. Awesome, I love that. Ron, how do I get to the how do I get to those streak stats on that page? How do I get to those streaks? Well, plays and parlays. The streak stats on the page. This one here. Are you talking about the law of average? Everything you want to know, it's on the dashboard. If you go to the dashboard, you can get either the streaks right here, the winning streaks of all the teams like in NHL, or here's all the winning streaks and losing streaks and all that. Or if you want the law of average streaks, you just go to law of average and then it goes right there. All right, moving right along here, and the biorhythm capping. So I talked about that back in the early days when I was handicapping. Knew a handicapper who strictly based his philosophy on biorhythms. It sounded crazy at the time, but it's not. When you think of biorhythms, I'm thinking of days rest, and that's why we came up with this feature here. Teams playing on days rest, and teams that are straight up. Like look at the NHL teams that are now. We have a lot of teams playing on 3 and 4 games tonight. A lot of NHL teams are playing 3 games in 4 nights. Vegas, Minnesota, St. Louis, San Jose, Arizona, Colorado, and LA, Anaheim. Now I'm going to keep track to see if those 4 games tonight, what the total is. I'm not really too engaged into the sides, but the total, because now it affects both teams, right? And if you look at the teams on 3 games and 4 nights who have the over/under record, let me check here. So look at this: Florida Panthers, when they play 3 games and 4 nights, 1-6 to the under, and the Columbus Blue Jackets to the 6-0 to the under. But I don't see a lot of stats. Like here's one: Minnesota Wild, 4-1 to the over, 3 games and 4 nights, 5-3 for the Jets. But I saw Detroit 1-4 to the under. So those are things that I consider when I'm doing in back-to-back games. Only one back-to-back tonight, and that's the Ottawa Senators. And I didn't see any stats that were really worth talking about. All right, let's go to Streakcatcher.com, and let's talk about the guy of the hour, Miguel 1042. Now Miguel is let's take a look at his last couple of picks here at Streakcatcher.com. Now, folks, this is where Eddie O made $500, and if you're a member of this site, it's $9.99 a month. You get to play, and if you go on a win streak and you go like Eddie did, 12-0, you win $500. Or if you're just a regular member, if you go 12-0, you win $50. And the same thing, if you go 17-0, you win $1,000, $5,000 for 21, and 25 wins will net you $10,000. It's free to play, free to join. Streakcatcher.com, just like you see right there. And Miguel, on a 6-game win streak, Miguel had the over in Oregon State and Oregon. And I'm going to make my selection for today. I'm going to go to the NHL, and I'm going to go to that LA Anaheim game. I'm going to go with the under. I love the under in this game here tonight. I think Gibby's see, now here's the thing. If the line is 130 or higher, it won't let you do it. And there's a reason for that. Is because if the money line gets too high, then it's not worth betting, right? So when I built this website, I built it so that there was a minus 25 draw off cutoff. But that's okay. We'll go to the next play. I got another play in hand. I'm going to go to the Habs game. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go Montreal, Vancouver. I love the over in this game here tonight. I'm going to go over 6.5, Montreal, Vancouver. And that's my Streakcatcher play of the day. Had my 3-game win streak snap last night. I had Washington, Philly over. But you know what? Still, if you look at my handle here, Ronnie Ray, I've had this website now for almost 15 years, and I have over 600 plays, over 64 plays, 564 plays, and you can see I am ranked number 8 overall. I think it's 8th. Yeah, number 8 overall at Streakcatcher, top all-star streaker. So I'm doing something right. So, and that's how you can tell the best pickers right here, the top 10 all-star streakers. And then you got the ones that are current, right? The current streakers. So Firelink 047. This guy or the girl has been with me a long time too. This guy has, let me see here, Cleveland State -4 tonight. So good luck to Firelink. He's got his play in tonight, or she does. Hey, good luck. Hopefully you guys can win that game. All right, let's go back to ATS stats, and now we're going to look at the line moves of the day. We're going to see where the biggest line moves in college basketball for tonight, and then we're going to go to college hockey to see where the biggest line moves are happening. So let's go to college basketball, and we're going to go to the Steamers. Now, I'm going to anything that's one or higher. Hofstra opened up at 4, it's at 5. And then you got UNC Greensboro opened up at 3.5, and it's now at 5. So the steam's coming in on this one right here. And Kinesis was at 6.5, and it's down to 5. So Ryder getting a bit of love right here. And let me see here. Appalachian State opened up at actually Georgia State -5, and it's -7 now for Georgia State. So money coming in, early indicators on Georgia State. And the biggest line move of the day is Northeastern. Actually, it's a flip. Look at this. It opened up -1.5 for Drexel, and it's now 1.5 for Northeastern. And those are your top line moves in college basketball. Totals, looking at the totals right now, nothing really to report right here. Nothing unchanged. And let's go to the NHL. And let me see here. Did I miss something here? I've been hitting over 5.5 Sabres Islanders. I follow this guy on YouTube called Underdog Chance. Pretty well, okay. Vegas, cool. Revenge game for Montreal. I think price for a shutout. Still convinced either way. All right, let's take a look at the NHL. Now, the line total opened up at 6 on St. Louis. It's down to 5.5. And Montreal, 6, and it's at 6.5. So the over is looking good tonight between the Habs and the Vancouver Canucks. All right, that's the line move of the day. Now, let's go to the game of the day. We're going to break down the Minnesota Wild against the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, if you go to atsstats.com, you go to Rain Report. Let's go to the Minnesota game of the night. And this way, Minnesota taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, Vegas a 116 favorite. The over-under at 5.5. ATS forecast likes the Golden Knights 3.26, 2.63. The over-under at 5.89. Looking at the last 10 games for both these teams, Minnesota 7-3 straight up, 8-2 to the over, where Vegas 8-2 straight up, 3-7 to the under. Now, Marc-Andre Fleury, absolutely stellar this year. He's 6-1 against Minnesota, having a really good season. I believe I can't remember what his 12-3 on the year, something like that. The guy's just he's stopping everything. 6-game win streak for the Vegas Golden Knights, and Minnesota coming off a 5-2 loss to Arizona. Now they were on a long road trip. Look at this. Vegas. So 5-4, 5-1, and a 5-1 win over Phoenix or Arizona, and then a 5-2 loss. And Vegas on a 6-game losing streak. Now, when Vegas travels to Minnesota, they are 1-3, so they don't have a lot of wins in the Minnesota. A lot of success. And for Minnesota, they're 6-4 in their last 10 games against the Golden Knights, and they're 5-3 at home. But Vegas 6-2 on the road. Vegas doing really well. They're 5-0 in their last 5 games, keep 2.2. I don't think you touch the side in this game. If you're going to bet the anything in this game here tonight, guys, I think the over is where you want to go. I think the over is where you want to lean here tonight. The Vegas Golden Knights, 5-3 to the over on the road this season. And I'm going to lean over tonight between Vegas and Minnesota. I think, I don't think you want to bet against Vegas right now, especially the way Fleury's playing. I don't know if he's confirmed right now, but I think the over is where you want to go. And the over-under tonight on the Vegas Golden Knight and Minnesota Wild is 5.5. So, if we get to 3-2, there's a pretty good chance you can cover your ticket. Either, if it goes 3-3, it's even better. Then you get, for sure, you get 7, right? All right, so there you have it. That's the game of the day. And I'm going to make my selections right now at hockeypicks.com. These are my plays that I'm going to put in tonight. I don't like going against a hot goalie right now, so I'm going to have a small lean here on the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm going to take Vegas at 56%. I like him. I don't love him. I think Edmonton's going to hammer the Sens tonight, 72%. Colorado and the Arizona, I'm going to lean on Colorado here. No McKinnon, but I still think they got enough depth to get it done. St. Louis against San Jose, I'm going to lean with the Blues. The Blues are having a good season, 60%. Montreal, the price is right, and he owns Vancouver. Give me the Habs tonight at 62%. And I'm going to go with LA. I know Gibson has a 1.8, but I'm very small, 51%. That's almost a pick 'em. It's just, I think LA, Jonathan Quick, 22-13 and 8 lifetime against Anaheim. And I'm going to kick save that. And there you go. Those are my plays today. And folks, you can make your selections each and every day. Each and every day here at hockeypicks.com. Let me see here. They are playing Minnesota. I like Minnesota today. Ride the train. Minnesota coming off a 5-game road. Yeah, this is a tough spot for Minnesota. Let down Fleury. You know what, Fleury? I think he wants to prove his coach from last year for benching him, and that's why I think he's probably going to win the Vezina. Fleury's on a mission. Fleury wants to show the Boer he made a big mistake last year, putting Leonard ahead of him, and I think it embarrassed him. I think it embarrassed him in the room, and now the Boer should be embarrassed for what he did to Fleury. Never treat a veteran, especially a veteran like Fleury who's got a Stanley Cup. You can't do that to a guy like that. I also like the under in Minnesota. Can't wait for the hockey picks to be more compatible with iPhones. Yeah, I'm working on that. Ninox, I'm working on that. Trust me. In fact, I'm going to email the programmer right after the show, and we will fix that for sure. All right. So ATS Calculator, I'll do a quick run on ATS Calculator, and I'll get you guys the. Let me log in here. Let me go to ATS Calculator. All right, so I'll do a quick, so the way the ATS Calculator works is you go in here, you put in your team, and then you go, say, Vegas against Minnesota, and you create the analytics, and tonight the computer likes Vegas, 0.75, 5.43, so the ATS Calculator likes the under, so I'm going to keep track of this, so I'm going to go Vegas and under. And then let's take a look at St. Louis. So we're going to hit the reset. Let's go St. Louis against San Jose. St. Louis, San Jose. And we got St. Louis winning 0.68 and the over-under at 6.56. So it does like it to go over the total. And we're in an overs market, right? Remember at the beginning of the show, the SBI. The SBI is 4-day winning streak now for the over. So we got Arizona taking on Colorado. Survey says. We got Colorado winning big here. Colorado 1.17, 5.58. So it does like it to go over the total. I got a feeling we're going to start seeing a lot of overs in the next couple of days. Ottawa, this will be like a touchdown, I think, for Edmonton. I bet you it's in the 2. Okay, 1.7. I'll say 1.7. Survey says. Oh, 0.98. Oh, a little lower than I thought. All right, Edmonton. And the over, it likes it to go under. All right. And then let's take a look here at Montreal. Montreal Canadiens taking on the Vancouver Canucks. Survey says. We have Montreal winning, and we have the under. All right, but I like the over in that game. And then last one, but not least, LA Kings. Hopefully this is a nice under right here. And Anaheim. 5.47, perfect. And then we got LA winning and the under. All right, there you have it, folks. This was the Raymond Report, new short format. Hopefully you guys like this format. Again, it's a little bit all over the place, but when you think about the way this format is designed, it's about value, the percentage play, and performance cycles, and throwing some tidbits out there, right? Throwing those performance stats. I'll try a couple times a week to get you guys some research done. I call these brain ticklers, right? These are things that'll just make the brains tickle. But hopefully you guys enjoy this type of format. Again. I'm going to post this format each and every day, and I think it makes for a great show. It's not always the same. It's not it's like we're sitting at a nice restaurant. We're sitting down, breaking bread, a little vino, a little wine for you guys, and maybe a Coke for myself since I retired the elbow about 20 years ago. But, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a good way to do this, and I think this format will bring more value. And different, like I said, handicapping is different strokes for different folks. And again, if you enjoy this format, let me know. Send me your feedback. I always love feedback. I'll always get back to you. Anybody who sends me any suggestions, I won't ignore it. I'll get back to you. and hopefully you guys enjoy that. All right, folks, don't forget, smash the like buttons if you do enjoy this show, and we'll be back here tomorrow. And if you have any last questions, I'll fire away. I'll see if I can answer them to you. Free money G&G. Tired and competitive game. G&G. I agree with Isaiah. Coyotes, good defense. Plays and Parlays likes the format. Thank you, Plays and Parlays. Arizona goalie is ranked better. Hard to bet the over with the Coyotes. They've got good defense. Yep, absolutely. All right, folks. Hey, you know what? A couple more days, we'll have some basketball. Then the show format will be all over the place, right? And then throw in baseball. Man, we're going to... The bullpen will be hopping in a couple of weeks when we got NBA, MLB, and NHL. And who knows what else we'll have going, right? All right, folks. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Don't forget, if you want to check out the show format tomorrow, go to Tools, go to Podcast Show. And don't forget that last race, 11th race today, at Parks Racing in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. I like the what was it, the horse? The number, was it 4 horse? Actually, you know what? Before we go, let me give you the right horse. If you do like this, like I say, I always bet the Joker's wild selections, the 11th race, and I do like the number 4. Hold My Call. Hey, Hold My Beer. I'm sure that's what he meant to call that horse. Hold My Beer, but it's Hold My Call with Gonzalez. Bet him 10 to win, 10 to place. He comes in first or second. Hopefully he can make you some money today on the Raymond Report. All right, so hold all calls till tomorrow as usual for the Raymond Report. I'm Ron Raymond. This was the Raymond Report for a Manic Monday, March 8th. Folks, have yourself a great rest of your evening. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back here shortly with another Raymond Report. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.